Hi everybody, welcome to Stalking the Wild Autoharp. And today I want to talk to you about different folks who come around to playing the Autoharp and getting around to it, the different types of people who pick up the Autoharp. What type of person are you? Now maybe you've been playing the Autoharp for a while, so the question would be, what type of person were you when you first started playing? And I want to go through some of these groups of people that I have encountered and worked with in teaching the Autoharp, because I've taught Autoharp at all different levels now, and each group has their own challenges and strengths, and we'll see which group you fit into. The first group of people are people who have been playing music all their lives. They have all kinds of musical background, including music theory. This was me. When I started playing the Autoharp, I was about 27 years old. Right, it was last year. And no, it was 32 years ago now. And I had already been a musician. I had been a music major, a composition major, a theory major in college. I had piano background. I had lots of instruments that I had played, and I brought all of this pre-existing musical knowledge into it. And I learned fast. And not everybody can have that experience, but all of that really helped me learn. Even though the mechanics and the plucking patterns and everything that I was learning were new to me, all of the musical background was not new. And so it made it easier to pick up. Okay? So the first group of people are the people who've got the music theory background and lots and lots of other musical experiences. Another group are people, they may not have the music theory background, but they have piano background. And I have found that people who have piano or keyboard, at least, background, that's a real plus. Because as they learn the Autoharp, they can picture the piano keyboard. And so they can picture what chords look like. If we talk about a scale, a G scale, for example, it goes G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. They know what that looks like. They can even feel it under their hands. And so, it doesn't matter if your keyboard experience was years ago as a kid, because they still remember some of the basics of the keyboard. They know where an A is, they know where a B is, etc., etc. And all of that really helps. So they move along pretty swiftly. Also in their Autoharp learning. Then there are people who claim some musical experience. Maybe they played an instrument decades ago in band. And I work with these folks really well too, because they have, in their background at some point, they have some musical knowledge. And they're not aware of it, but it has stuck with them. Some aspect of it, and it starts coming back as they learn stuff about the Autoharp. Might be, how notes are written on the staff. Might be things about counting. 1, 2, 3, 4 versus 1, 2, 3, and 1 and 2, 3 and 4. The upbeats. They might remember that. Certain stuff has become a little bit more ingrained, and they have that to build on. And of course, Autoharp being a new adventure, all of the technique stuff specific to Autoharp still has to be learned. Okay? And then there's the fourth group. The fourth group are the group, it's actually my big client base as a teacher, are people who have no music experience prior to picking up the Autoharp. And so folks who have no music experience, they kind of have a double learning curve. Okay, because they're not only just learning things about the autoharp and the techniques of the autoharp and how to pick in patterns and do this, but they also have music stuff that they have to learn about too. So they're not just taking autoharp lessons, they're taking music lessons as well. They have to learn how to count 3, how to count 4, different aspects of dividing up the beats, and they have to learn what a scale is and what a chord is and what is involved in that, as well as the technique of actually playing it on the autoharp. So those folks, I work really well with those folks, just starting from frame 1, day 1, and building on that. But those folks really need to cut themselves some slack and be patient, because they need to understand that a lot of what I'm teaching them is music stuff, not just autoharp stuff. So there's like a double whammy there. So which group are you in? And I also should mention there's an age issue, partly associated with memory, but I have students now, younger students who are in their 20s and 30s, and those kids are just fast in their learning, and they learn at a different rate. And for a long time I worked with seniors and retired people in learning the autoharp, and they went at a certain pace. And then when I started working with younger folks, it was like, boom, and I would go in accustomed to working at a certain pace, and they'd already be way ahead of the curve, during the week that they were gone, or that we weren't working together. I come back a week later, and they've already advanced, this far, and they're ready for, chapter 2 or level 5 or whatever, and they're just zoom, zoom, zoom. But folks who are age inclined, it takes us longer to learn some stuff and for it to sink in and to go into our muscle memory, and we've got to be patient with that. And I work with both of these groups, the kids and the older adults, in beginning music lessons, and we have to come into our playing experience with the right expectations and not expect too much too fast, especially if we're just starting out, because we've got nothing to go on. And so if you are in any one of these groups, I can work with you, and I look forward to working with you. And you can also learn a lot just from working with the videos in Stalking the Wild Autoharp, because I've now got about 100 of them here to teach you the different techniques that you want to learn. Remember that there's an index over on my website that will take you to level appropriate videos. My website is halweeks.com. So whatever group you are in, if you choose to, I can work with you in lessons. You can work at your own rate. Just have an appropriate expectation of yourself so that you don't get frustrated in the learning curve, at whatever learning curve you are at. So in the meantime, I'm going to take you out with some more O'Carolan, and you all have a good day. I'm Hal Weeks for Stalking the Wild Autoharp. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.